We'll jump over to some cricket, boys.
Let's get stuck into it.
Yeah, a quick recap of the first test between Pakistan and Australia. Very underwhelming result in the end in the Rawalpindi Road. I think the ICC came out and said that the deck was fair, which is below good and above poor. Interesting take there, considering there was 14 wickets in the entire test.
Well, I think the point is it was playable. It just
Very
wasn't
playable.
There wasn't. The paw would be like, hey, there's landmines. The whole thing's falling apart, and it's bouncing all over. Like it's dangerous. Yeah. That's a paw, but yeah, this wasn't dangerous. It was just maybe
boring.
That's the word. Boring.
But credit where credit's due. The Pakistanis only lost 4 wickets throughout the entire test match. We were talking about the possibility of Mitchell Schwepson coming into the side. We'll talk about the second test in a minute, but that has come to fruition. Very memorable test for some young Pakistani openers. Of course, Imam Ul Haq, we already spoke about him getting a ton in the first innings, a big 157 out of him. He backed it up with an unbeaten ton in the second, as did Abdullah Shafiq, both scoring tons in the second innings there for Pakistan. 4 centuries for the Pakistanis. Yeah, you can say it's a road, yada, yada, but you've got to go out there and still score runs. So pretty impressive there from the Pakistani top order. As for the Aussies, no tons in our 459. Khawaja 97, Marnus 90, so both a little bit unlucky. Smudge 78, Warner 68. Probably Naman Ali, the pick of the Pakistani bowlers. A very, very underwhelming test match. But yeah, draw. We spoke about it this time last week, saying draw.
We said
on day 2.
Yeah.
On day 2, we
we're still paying $1.80 at that point.
No one loaded up. We did lose a little bit play to rain, and then a wet outfield or something. They just couldn't get back out there. Quite an underwhelming test match.
Yes, yeah.
Talk about the second one, which is the exact same point as we were last week. Day 2 in the books, and very similar, just the other way around with the Aussies out there scoring bulk runs. Started off with the news that Mitch Schwepson would be into the Australian side, and you called it. Josh Hazlewood misses out. Very interesting. I thought he was one of the pick of our bowlers, but like you said, maybe too similar to Cummins in what they provide.
I agree.
They wanted, Stark to be able to bowl some left-arm thunderbolts by the looks. But yeah, maybe Hazlewood a little bit unlucky to miss out. Anyway, someone had to give, and very much looking forward to the long-awaited debut of Mitch Swepson, quite serendipitous with the passing of Shane Warne last week, who's always been on the camp for Mitch Swepson, wanting to get him involved in Australian Test cricket. So he's got his wish there, Shane Warne. Yeah,
and it looked like the Pakistanis were getting a bit of turn as well on that the pitch they're playing on, which I don't think we mentioned. It was very, very white, I think was the main thing. It looked like they'd put a whole bunch of good beach sand on it for the kind of colour it was good in that. But I wonder if they were trying to make quick changes to it after what happened in the previous test. And
don't think it worked.
No, it didn't work. It looked like it was crumbling a little bit more around the foot marks earlier and then last, but still, like the whole middle part of the pitch is still rock solid, rock hard.
What about the square? They've got all those practice decks,
and
the
way they cut the outfield as well in the big circles. It looks wavy.
It looks pretty ordinary. I'd hate to be fielding anywhere, in the inner circle there. You'd be taking a bit of bark off the elbows, I reckon, bowling from some of those balls. Nonetheless, I'll tell you someone who fucking enjoyed it out there. Usman Khawaja, he is in some unbelievable form. We'll start just quickly at the top. Dave Warner had a little bit of luck early on. He snicked up a few. They fell short of the slips. His luck ran out on 36. That was a really nice ball from Fahim. Just did enough to make him play. And
a little bit of sea movement. Yeah. Got enough to tickle the bat on the way through.
Away through to the keeper. Then Marnus ran out on 0. There's a bee's dick in this one. Quick single, but Test cricket.
Straight to the fielder.
Straight to mid-off. Wanted to get off the mark.
But I know he wanted to get off the mark, but he's only faced 9 balls. I don't think he needed to be so aggressive at that point.
Yeah.
It's not like he'd face 30 and still be on a not like, I really need to run here.
Yeah. I suppose hindsight's 2020. There was a bee's dick in it, but yeah, straight to mid off, who had pretty much all three stumps to aim at there. Sajid Khan threw him down.
I reckon, Marnus probably thought that, he's going to have to pick this up really cleanly and get it off. I'm probably going to be safe. But he did a good job kind of going around the ball, picking up with one hand and just getting it off straight away. Like, it was a good job, and hit the right peg, and that was it.
Great bit of fielding there from Sajid Khan to run out one of the most dangerous batsmen in the world at the moment. Then we saw a massive partnership between Usman Khawaja and Steve Smith. Usman, of course, dismissed for 97 in Rawalpindi, just missing out. And he went on this time. How about his form? So we had the back-to-back tons in Sydney. His recall back into the test side after a few years in the wilderness. Missed out in Hobart.
Yeah.
And then 97 and 160. So 3 tons out of his last 6 innings since coming back into the side, and 3 runs away from being 4 tons out of 6. He's in an absolute purple patch. He plays a spin so well, and it would have meant a lot to him scoring a ton in the country of his birth.
Well,
and the locals getting around him a fair bit as well. They received a lot of applause from the Karachi home fans there.
I think he was saying as well, his family is originally from Karachi. So he's saying outside of like him and his brothers, like everyone else, my family was born here. So, it was great to get it in, say, his native home of his family.
Yeah.
To put on a big ton and 160, and he got a good seed, I think, to bowl him out there as well from Khan.
Yeah.
So
a bit of turn there, like we're talking about. There seems to be a little bit in this deck, maybe for the spinners compared to last time. A really nice ball, just dragged him forward and took the top of his off stump. It was 4.5 sessions in before they got him. Imagine batting for 4 sessions. Goodness gracious.
Yeah, you've never been there, Peps.
No. Mate, batting for a session is unbelievable. I reckon at a sort of lower level. I can't imagine batting for 4.5. Yeah. Smudge sort of made a start, missed out again. 3, I think. No, 2. His last 2 innings have been in the 70s, and the one before that I think was 67. Yep. He's made 6 tons, 6 50s rather, since his last ton, which was against India at the SCG. So about 14 months since Smudge turned up in Test cricket. Definitely making the starts, and he didn't really look like getting out until he got dismissed from an absolute screamer of a catch, diving to his left from Fahim Ashraf in the second last over.
Yeah, it was very late in the day at that point. So.
Yeah. Enter Nathan Lyon. He got dropped actually as a very tough chance for Imam ul Haq at short leg there. Put it right between his hands, pretty much hit him in the gut and then dropped. They're always hard when they, you field them at short leg. You're expecting bat pad when they come straight at you like that. They're pretty hard to catch. And Nathan Lyon, pretty good effort, making 38 runs as a night watchman. 20 odd for Travis Head and Cam Green. And then Alex Carey, we spoke about Khawaja just missing out last test, getting out for 97. Alex Carey just missed out after playing the sweep shot very well throughout. He got bowled by Babar Azam of all people. Babar's second test wicket, playing the sweep shot. He fell 7 agonising runs short of his maiden test century. You boys see him falling into the pool earlier during the week?
Just, I think, distracted by the phone, just going for a little wander, and then, one foot misses and he's in the pool.
Forgot where he was walking.
I think he owned it, though. He was like, that's hilarious. Like, that's
you have to.
I wonder how his phone is. I think that was the first thing. He tried to chuck it out as soon as he hit the water, and absolutely copping it from all the boys, all sharing their different angles of him falling in the pool. There's a bit of security camera footage, and maybe, I don't know, someone must have had their phone out as well, because I've seen about 7 different angles of it.
More replays than they do for Snicker.
Yeah, indeed. But really, really good to see Carey making a fair few runs. I think that was only his second 50 so far in the test side. You feel pretty unlucky, I think, trying to play a big sweep shot, which you've been playing well all day, to fucking Babar Azam. Yep.
Yeah.
Anyways, declared 8 for 505. We're about an hour and a half off play this afternoon. I'm really looking forward to seeing Mitch Swepson's debut. Hopefully we can take some wickets and we don't have another, run fest boring draw.
What did you? Cummins got a bit of heat for going out to bat in this with 3 overs to go yesterday afternoon. Well, late evening. I think he was probably okay because by the time they'd switched over, the bowlers, everything they would have lost nearly all those overs and maybe have got one, if any, if they'd spent all that time. So I think it was okay.
And they will try. Obviously, they wanted Carey to try and get a ton.
Yeah,
they probably could have declared 5 overs earlier and left Carey stranded on about 80 odd and said, come in and we'll have a bowler this evening. So sometimes, they try and do the right thing for the individual, and maybe it wasn't the best call for the team in that situation. But yeah, 8 for 505, does it really matter if they were 7 for 480? Does it change things that much? Do
you think they were? My other question was going, do you think they were aggressive enough on day 2? Yeah,
they scored a little bit slowly. It's
because I look at it, they scored 250 on day 1 and they scored 250 on day 2. Like I would have thought after Khawaja got his 100 and then the guys are in there that maybe push a little bit harder, trying to get not a whole session but at least get a decent chunk of the last.
Yeah, well, Khawaja and Smudge they struck at 33 and 43, so. Really took their time, chewed up a few balls, gets us to a point where you're probably not going to lose this test. It's just a factor of if it's going to be a draw or can you win it. Carey pushed the envelope a little bit, striking nearly at about 60.
I think he had to catch up to get them into this position now. Yeah. But I think overall it was probably still a little bit slow.
Possibly. It's really quite weird how reminiscent this game is of the first test, just with the roles reversed.
Exactly.
Of we thought, Pakistan, batted for 2 days and they only made 480 or whatever it was. Maybe they could have scored a little bit quicker. It seems like it's the exact same kind of scenario here, and it does make you wonder: could we have gone a touch more aggressive and really tried to, bring the win, into the forefront and not the draw being the favourite. Monks, I can see that you've got the odds there. What's a draw paying? It's pretty short.
Yeah, it's shorter than the first test, so it's sitting at $1.47 at the moment with Australia as winners of the test. Sorry, as of the match at $2.80.
Pakistan at 31.
31, yeah.
Yeah, with 3 days still to go. Would you think for Australia to win it from here, they won't bat again?
Yeah, possibly. I don't. From what I've seen, we've only taken 4 wickets so far in this whole test. I can't see
that happening.
I can't see us taking 20 in 3 days unless this pitch absolutely crumbles and turns to shit. I'd be thinking the draws, a pretty firm favourite for a reason again here.
Yep.
Yeah.
Happy?
Yes.
See.
So, yeah.
We'll see how it goes.
See how we go.
Yeah. Yeah, I think the comparison, we'll get to India versus Sri Lanka, like they're playing on, a road out in the outback, whereas the guys in Pakistan are playing on the Autobahn. Like there's such a different kind of pitch comparison. So anyway, it is what it is. Lots of runs. Enjoy the great run scoring in the Australian game, but not much there for the bowlers, I think, unfortunately.